good practice in the respects that we were able to come out after a really physical, energetic, competitive practice yesterday and match that enthusiasm. We went short yardage and goal line live, so it was really our first live reps. It was really even. We did some competitive third down. It was pretty balanced. So I like what I'm most impressed with right now is their mindset and their ability to come out here every day and focus and compete and work without it being a bloodbath. And guys, cheap shotting or going low or guys on the ground. You can get a lot of work done when you compete the way we're competing and take care of each other. So there seems to be, in my opinion, just a more professional attitude with the way our team's approaching practice every day, and I like that. I think that's what we're after, because I think if you can approach it with that attitude, then you're going to find a level of consistency, which I think we need to find, and I think this will help us find it. So it was good.
Is that a process of just being your fourth spring?
I believe so. I believe that we've got guys on this team that understand how we want to operate and what the results can be if we operate the way we want to operate. And they know how we practice. They know what the tempo is, what the expectations are, and they come out here every day with a great attitude. And so it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch them grow up and mature and understand what we're trying to be. And I hope that down the road that helps us avoid some of those games that we've had where we've been real high and then the next week kind of been low. We want to find that level of consistency that great teams have.
Is Aaron Sharp permanently at receiver now?
I wouldn't say anything's permanent, but I would say that he looks good there. He catches the ball naturally. He's extremely fast. He's got that long speed. He's got length. He seems to be excited about the move. He's not a guy that gets overly excited about anything. He's pretty even-keeled, but he's working hard there, and I think that's a good spot for him. And like I said the other day, what you appreciate about a guy like Aaron is as much as he wants to play quarterback, he realized he wasn't getting repetitions. He said, well, maybe I can work in at receiver and get work and help the team. So it was his idea.
How good is it to get a good day out of Mike Faithful, who might be your third or fourth string quarterback?
Yeah, it's great. I think what you're seeing here is the quarterback that works with the ones has the best day, and really that's how it should be, because he's got a good offensive line in front of him. You've got good receivers that are dependable, run consistent routes and catch the ball well. You've got a running game that you can depend on, and so I think things are just a little more clean for the guy running with the ones. The guy running with the twos, the offensive line isn't necessarily consistent from day to day. We're rotating receivers through a little bit more, so it's a little bit more of a difficult task and more of a challenge for that guy. But, I think we all have a lot of confidence in Mike. Mike's been here. This is Mike's fourth spring. Remember, he came in early. So he has a great feel for what we're doing, and you see it. He's poised. He's doing a hell of a job.
You said you would review at 4 and at 8, and now since we're at 6, I think, so you're...
You want me to cut it in half and review now?
Sure.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do, I think what we'll do is at least go through probably Monday night, which would be 8. I think that would be fair, because that gives Jerry and Ashante Saturday, which is going to be a good physical practice. We'll have some elements that are live, and it'll give Mike and Josh Monday night, where once again it's pretty spirited. There'll be some live, and then I think after that everyone's gotten a chance to really work with the ones, for an extended amount of time, and then we can do a more fair evaluation, and we'll adjust if we need to. But I do like the way we're rotating the quarterbacks. I mean, sure, I'm like everybody else. I'd like to see everybody every day, but there's just not enough time. And I think that when you water down the reps and you give a guy 12 as opposed to 40, it's hard to get that evaluation. It's not fair to the kid. He can't get in a flow. So, anyway.
How good has Jaylen Brown done so far this spring, and what does he give you when he's good?
Well, he gives you energy, number one. He loves to play the game. He can run. He loves to hit. He's, I think, much more comfortable now in the scheme than he's ever been, and I think he can play both spots. He gives you an athleticism at linebacker that you love to see because he can cover, backs out of the backfield. He can work in zones. So he's just both him and Sacco. You go, okay, well, who are your two backup inside linebackers? You go, well, Jayon Brown and Sacco, a couple of really good players. So that depth is something that's important for us.
What kind of versatility does Randall Goforth give you back there too? Because he's kind of moving around a little.
Yeah, you see that. I mean, he'll go from free to strong to corner. He can play nickel. I think as hard as it was for him to sit out last year, I think it benefited him. I think that he missed the game and he saw what he was missing, and I think that it's focused him more. He came in here as a corner, had corner skills, moved into safety, but you still see the corner skills. And we like to move our guys around back there. We like to look for the right matchups. So I think it's a real positive as versatile as he is, definitely.
Are there any guys who you feel maybe have been like a pleasant surprise to you this spring, or?
It's hard for me to point any guys out, but let me think for a second. I mean, let me think who's caught my eye. Alex Van Dyke, after the first practice or two, he kind of had the drops, and then he had a really good day. Remember, he had the bad one-on-one, right? And then he came in the team and he started making those catches, and since then he's just
a nice one.
Yeah, and he's just gone like this every day. So you see the confidence. I'm thinking of more younger guys here. Darius Pickett, he does some really good things at safety. He's starting to get a feel for that. He's settled into that position. Nate Starks, and I don't think that's necessarily a surprise because we saw him on the field a lot last year. I'm trying to think of guys that didn't necessarily play a lot. I think Denzel Fisher does some things that are good out of corner. Gets a little handsy at times, so we've got to, that's being inexperienced. It's nice to have Johnny Johnson back. I don't know that he's yet confident in his shoulder, but his feet are magical like they were. He's got feet like a shorebird. You know that one, right? It's a good old scouting term. I don't want to discount anybody, but those are kind of the guys that have stood out to me.
How is Kenny Orgioki's recovery going right now?
It's going well. He had some early setbacks. I'll tell you another guy that's shown up, and it's because I see him run, is Cameron Griffin. He's doing well. But Kenny, he had some setbacks early with scar tissue, so they had to go in there and loosen it up. But now he looks good. He looks strong. His muscles back. His definition's back in his thigh. He won't do anything this spring other than some of the light stuff early, and then work with Coach Alosi late. But I don't have any doubt that he'll be ready to go for fall, and getting him back will be big for us. We need that depth.
Is he going to get that season back?
He did get the season back. Yeah, I thought I told you guys that. He and Randall both got their season back. Okay. Ish got a season back. I don't know if there's anyone else that.
How about McDermott?
I don't know that. I'll find out.
Is there any chance that he was going to get a season
back?
Yeah,
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did.
So did you say Orgioki had a second follow-up surgery just to loosen it
I don't know
up?
if it was a surgery, they went in and scoped it, or some procedure, but this was a long time ago.
Right.
This was like, a couple months after his surgery, they went in there and it's not unusual. The scar tissue developed, so they had to go in and clean it up a little bit. And he was having trouble with his extension, and now I believe he has full extension. Another guy that stood out is Jacob. I see him coming over here, Jacob. I have to see him to answer your question. So, anyway. Okay?
Good.
All right.